the main way I do it, which I'm sure is going to cause severe psychological damage for my children, is I overshare. So I kind of bring them into my world. My son is 6 and my daughter is 3, so this is not ideal given the issues we've been talking about here today. But there are like, for instance, I'll mention this because Sinjar, the town of Sinjar in Iraq, was just taken back, and when there were those kids and those families up on the mountain, and President Obama decided to get involved and to try to save them. It happened to be, I think, over the July 4th weekend or over some holiday weekend, and that's the sacred time, just at the weekend to try to get chunks of quality time, and I was on the phone the entire time, and so I just decided to tell him about Sinjar and how the kids are thirsty and we've got to get water to them and this and that. And he just was asking all these questions. We went to the map and I showed him the area where it was in, and then we were sitting at dinner, and my son, and he's normally not the most empathetic. I wish I could claim I had just a wonderfully empathetic 6-year-old boy. Not in the cards. But in this instance, I just poured him a glass of water or whatever. He says, I don't want my water. Can you send it to Sinjar? And it was just like, so I, of course, start weeping. He's like, Mommy, are those happy tears? And I was like, but, and he's embraced some issues. We have a big National Geographic map, and he's obsessed with animals, as lots of kids are. And he noticed on the National Geographic map that there were lots of elephants in Zimbabwe specifically. So he's just learning to read. So it's like it's a kind of cool word, and so he's into Zimbabwe. And he said, "Can we go there?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can go there, but they have a leader, and he's not that great, and people don't, it's kind of a tough situation." And I said, "But he's on the older side." He's like, "How old?" And so I forget how old he was at the time. I think 90 or something. He's like, "That's old," and and I said, "Well," and so over and over again, he's actually stopped recently, like in the last few months. He's been overtaken by Cuba and other things he's interested in. But every morning on the way, he's like, "How's Mugabe?" How's Mugabe? I'm like, okay, this is not normal, but it is what it is.